Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Abdullah AlQahtani. Today I'm going to be presenting my topic to all of you. And I actually have 2 points to mention in the beginning. Number one, I just actually began this journey. Started in October. So I haven't got that far yet, but let me assure you I'm enjoying the journey so far. And the second point is that I have done almost 13 years of HR and strategy experience in both sectors, the public sector and the private sector, and mostly consulting. And I've noticed this gap in most organizations where they usually use the help of consulting companies to form the best strategy, but the challenge comes in the execution. And probably I'm going to enjoy, researching this topic, and hopefully, inshallah, we're going to come up with something that the industry can use down the road or in order to help them out to execute their strategy. So let us begin. So if you can go to the second. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, so as a global challenge when it comes to strategy execution, empirical studies actually show us 60 to 90% of strategies actually fail when it comes to execution. And that's a big number. And only 30% of organizations get to successfully complete their strategy as planned. And 80% of executives have problems transferring their strategy execution into reality. And here where I suggest, or I can see that the HR can play a big role in basically, intervening in executing any organization strategy. Now, why strategies actually fail? According to my research so far, it's a misalignment between strategy and people capabilities. And 73% of managers actually believe execution is more complex than strategy formulation. And I've seen that actually in a practical sense. Limited leadership ownership when it comes to big tasks. And I think all of us have experienced that in our work, where the person actually would blame the person next to them or above them or beyond them. Also, weak performance management. And this is a big key when it comes to monitoring the performance of organization and linking it to the organization strategy. Cultural resistance, change fatigue, role ambiguity. And role ambiguity actually plays a big role because the little guy in the organization cannot see their impact to the overall organization. And lastly, the ineffective communication, which is something or a skill that anybody needs actually nowadays, because a person can do a perfect job, but showcasing that work or being articulate is very important and very important skill, especially when it comes to strategy execution. So now here where the HR comes in. So most of execution barriers, as far as I got in my research, actually falls in the basket of the HR, which is people related. So HR controls the key. So HR controls the talent and capability development. HR systems shape the roles, the incentives, the behavior, and the accountability structure. And also the PMS, which is the performance management system, which I mentioned earlier. And lastly, the organization structure or culture alignment, which most of it falls into the function of HR. Now, I've actually observed this from the well-known scholar in HR. His name is David Alreich. He's famous to us. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He came up with the model that actually suggesting to transform HR from being an admin function to a strategic partner. And he's suggesting basically that HR should act as an architect of strategy execution and not only a support function. As well as that, HR should, practically speaking, has actually the influence on strategy execution. I'm trying to keep up with the 2 slides here. Okay, so the literature, as far as I got now, it's actually have the positive outcomes that strategic HRM positively affects the organization performance, and the HR, as I mentioned earlier, has multiple key roles in it when it comes to change management, reskilling, and capability building, and also digital HR transformation. Lastly is the gap. That's what we still know less about, which is a limited understanding of how HR influences strategy execution in practice, lack of practice-based explanation, linking HR to the execution outcomes, limited insights on how performance management is actually used in practice as an execution tool, and lastly, the minimal research on HR agency, power, and influence during strategy execution. And here is what I'm planning to provide, which is the intended contribution. I would identify the HR strategic roles in driving organizational change to support the strategy execution, examine how HR aligns people, culture, leadership with the strategy execution, and lastly, to investigate organization and institutional barriers that constrain HR effectiveness within admin scope rather than strategic partner. So this is as far as I got, and here is my research question, which is, you can basically derive it from the topic. It's basically, how does the HR function act as strategic partner in enabling strategy execution in GCC countries or GCC organizations? And the reason why I picked GCC is basically, it's where I have access to organizations. And I have done, like I said in the beginning, I have done multiple projects in consulting where I got actually access to all these Gulf countries, and probably it's gonna help me a lot in sourcing my data when it comes to the methodology part. Thank you very much. Thank you.